Hey guys, what's up? Can we get a 5-5 in the chat? I believe we're live. This is a Starseed Adventures Roundtable round 2, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
so
round 2.
if you guys missed the first one, it was amazing. We had some of the other speakers on. We kind of discussed what they were going to be talking about at the conference, and it was really cool. It was a really awesome roundtable. Really got everybody a chance to just get to know each other a little bit, because some of these speakers have never met before. So it's really cool to do that. And tickets are still available, guys. Just a few things. I wrote them down so I don't forget here. Live stream tickets are available. They are doing a live stream. So if you can't make it, grab a live stream. And we are going to be doing one last roundtable the week before the conference. And we will be giving away 5 free live stream tickets. And all you have to do to enter is enter your email address on the StarSeedAdventures.com website. And one of you guys, please remind me to say that again later for the people who are coming in late. And what else? Oh, so if you've checked the website, the Sedona Conference was originally scheduled for May. That has been pushed back to the end of October. So if you were waiting for the Sedona Conference and whatever I'm trying to say, just go to Florida instead.
Just go to Florida instead of Sedona.
No, I'm just saying, if you were waiting for that one, it's pushed back later in the year. So if you're wanting to come to a conference and you don't want to wait, there are very limited tickets left. I think around 10 tickets or something for this conference. So if you're listening to this, grab a ticket if you feel compelled, if you feel drawn to come. I know the website says March 10th through the 14th, but I think they've changed that to March 11th through the 14th. So we're going to arrive on the 11th. They're going to do an opening ceremony that night. And then the next day on the 12th, the conference actually starts. So it's up to you when you want to arrive. But if you get there early enough on the 11th, you can participate in the opening ceremony, whatever that consists of. I'm not quite sure yet. All right, guys, welcome to the show. We are joined by Barry Littleton. He's a contactee experiencer. Some of you guys may have seen him speak before. We've had him on the show back in the early days. We have Ivan Teller. He's an extraterrestrial channeler. We've had him on the show as well. And he does some amazing work. I've been keeping up with him. It's really fascinating stuff. We are also joined by Princess Jeannee, who unfortunately can't be with us via video tonight, so we're only going to get her audio. She is a remote viewer, and she has achieved some incredible results from her work, so we'll be getting into some of that. And then we have Kate, and we've also had Kate on our show a few times. And Kate has her own channel, The Kate Awakening, and she's also doing We to Media now on Telegram and YouTube, if you guys aren't already aware of that. So welcome back, Kate. Welcome back, everybody. And welcome for the first time, Jeannee. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Wonderful.
All right. So to keep this a little organized, I guess we'll just go one by one and give you a chance to introduce yourselves and talk about the conference. So Barry, we'll just start with you. And how's it going, man? Welcome back.
Pretty good. Good to see you guys again. It's been a while. So definitely.
Yeah, you too, man.
Appreciate you having me on. What I'll be talking about is basically some of my personal contact experiences and some of the things that went along with it, which would be some of the beings and kind of what I've learned from it, and especially the technology. I'll kind of go a little more deeper into this during this talk than I used to in the past, in terms of I've talked to like several quantum physicists now and other people that have helped enhance my scientific understanding of what I witnessed and why and how, scientifically what I went through. And for me, I think that's important as far as it gives a real foundation and a basis for our experiences. And I also bring forward that, a lot of us are not quote unquote abductees, we're contactee experiencers. So I think that needs to be brought up. And I also kind of veer into a little bit the organic nature of the craft and some of the symbiosis between the craft and the ship itself and things like that. I'll probably just delve into. And it's always interesting because at one of these conferences, I've always found that it's the attendees that often should be up there talking before me or whatever, so it's always a good exchange of information, and I'm looking forward to that, since there's not a lot of that going on right now with the current world situation. So
Yeah, it's really incredible experiences these people have that you meet at these conferences. When you start talking to everybody, it's just like, wow, like it's so incredible. And
Yeah,
the
it is.
number of people remembering their experiences are coming forward now. It's a true sign of where we're heading, the Great Awakening, I guess you could say. But Ivan, we'll go ahead and turn it over to you, since you're kind of just channeling this same type of information. Welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Yeah. I'll be doing, talking about channeling, my experience with it. And I do like experimental channeling. So I get into, different government groups, and I try not just aliens, and pretty much diving into pretty much everything. So anything I can, whatever comes to mind, how far I can go into it. Of course, online, maybe there's only so far I can go with that due to censorship that's going on at the moment. But yeah, we basically going to the different types, my experiences with channeling, but also how I see the climate, the channeling climate. And I don't know if I'll do much channeling. Well, I will be, but I probably will be doing channeling there, but I'll probably go into the philosophy of it, this way I see it. So
yeah, interesting. And if you guys aren't aware of Ivan, he's doing some incredible work. I've personally had a session with him. I know Kate has also.
Yeah.
It's really, I would even go as far as saying life-changing with some of the information that can come through these sessions, because you really get to dive into some experiences if you are an experiencer, and just discover what actually took place. Maybe you don't remember all of it, and just stuff like that. And guys who are listening, if you stick around to the very end, Ivan is going to do a channeling for us. He's whoever wants to come through at the time, we're going to, I guess Ivan's going to allow in, and we're going to each here on the round table, we're each going to ask a question. So it should get pretty interesting. All right. Thank you, Ivan. And Jeannee, how's it going? Welcome.
Hi there. This is Jeannee. I am a remote viewer at the Farsight Institute, and I have my own company, Princess Views. I will be discussing remote viewing, scientific remote viewing specifically, which is a little different than some things that most others know about with CRV, ARV, and the multitude of other things that that we have been doing across the board with remote viewing. And the importance of meditation within it. That's what makes us a little bit different, is the meditation aspect thereof, which, I do meditate for about 3 hours a day.
Wow.
Before I do anything, even like I drop the kid off at school, I come home, I eat, I meditate 3 hours a day. And so I'll be getting into that form of meditation, how it can actually help out within your life, and how remote viewing itself can help within your everyday lifestyle as well. I do personal remote viewing sessions. We can go past, present, and future. I do investment responses. I've had some people ask me about gambling. That's not what I'm proficient in, but I do know how. And just the basics thereof. And so within my workshop, we'll be talking about meditation and the basics of remote viewing. And hopefully we'll be able to get people into at least being able to see something small within the small time frame that we will have with that. This is an 8-hour day for me, sometimes longer. For me personally, sometimes longer, just to be able to quiet my mind enough to go into these places and to do deep mind probes and to implant certain things and to go through with all those things. And so I do teach people how to do this. I also help people while doing it, and I show the importance thereof. Is it trust? You just imagine a large trust exercise with yourself. And so I'll be getting into the depths of that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I don't think I do anything for 3 hours a day. So I commend you on that. Especially the meditation. I mean, it's tough for me to really get 10 minutes sometimes. And so to do that, I understand the discipline it takes. So that's
That
impressive.
is very impressive. Yeah.
It is very, very crazy. I started off with 20 minutes, but the more I started to meditate, when the person who taught me, Dr. Courtney Brown, he taught me one-on-one every day. And the person who taught me, I was like, can I meditate a little bit longer? Can I do it just a little bit longer? He was like, yeah, go ahead. He goes, most people just do it for 20 minutes. But I couldn't just do 20 minutes. I had to go in deeper because I have the problem of sitting still. So my mind couldn't sit still in 20 minutes. And so it took 20 minutes for me to stop forgetting that I was saying a mantra. And then, it went on, but now it's just a part of my everyday life. And I meditate with my son, my family, and I teach other people how to just say, hey, sit still for a moment.
Awesome. That's
Nice.
That's really beautiful, actually. And incorporating your kids in with the meditation is important because it's just, I mean, they're the star seeds that are going to be the future, right? So
Yeah.
get them started early. All right. We're going to turn it over to Kate. Welcome, Kate. How's it going?
Thanks. I'm good. Good. So I am when I started my channel, so a little bit about me for people that don't know me, I literally I had my awakening and then I just started a channel so that I could have people kind of go through the experience with me. And at the time, it was, in my mind, it was an information battle, getting people to wake up. Like that was it. And so I was staying on top of the news and all of that, which I still do. But then kind of a year or so into it, I really started to see more how this is a spiritual battle. And I started to experience that this is a spiritual battle. And I've had some interesting experiences since then. I feel like the veil kind of dropped for me. And so that's an important thing to share too. I don't really get to talk about it. It's not that I don't get to talk about it on my channel. I guess I'm just not as comfortable yet because this is all still kind of new to me to get into these things. So that's one of the things that I like about this conference being so intimate, is that I feel a little bit more comfortable getting into those things and being kind of candid about some of the stuff that I've been experiencing. And also kind of, I'm learning so I have a background in past life regression. I'm a past life regression therapist, and that was my passion. And I stopped doing it a long time ago. And now it's almost like I'm starting to realize why I was drawn to that in the first place and how important it is to be able to access those lives, look at those lives, and use them to heal you currently, and so that you can be better at your mission here, doing your work. Once you kind of understand that you're not just this life, this body on this planet at this time, that you are kind of infinite. And once you get the broader perspective of who you've always been and what you've always gone through, you can see better what you're here to do now. So I've kind of shifted gears from the information war to the spiritual war. And that's what I want to kind of get into.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It is.
That's
And
amazing.
it's important because the information only gets you so far. And that's not getting us anywhere in life, just being on top of the information. We have to be going inward and healing and understand that there is a spiritual war, and there are attacks that go along with that. Some of us that are doing this work receive attacks, and you have to learn how to protect yourself and clear these entities and stuff. It's no joke. And the more you get into it, the more real it becomes. So that's really exciting that you're getting back into that work. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah. Guys, just for the people who might not have been here at the very beginning, we are giving away 5 free live stream tickets for the event. And all you need to do to enter is enter your email address at starseedadventures.com. And we will be doing one more roundtable the week before the conference, and we will announce the winners then. So just go to the website, submit your email. There should be a, I haven't actually done it myself, but there should be a way to do that. And you'll be entered. And just wait and pray that you might get a live stream ticket. All right, guys. So I'm really interested in just to kind of discuss like the bigger picture of what we think is going on right now. Like we have some really powerful people here. And like Jeannee, I was curious, like if you had, have you remote viewed this current situation or even in your future, do you do stuff like that? And how does that, what does that look like to you if you have?
When you say the current situation, are you referring to the pandemic?
Yeah, all of the above. Just what the planet
literally everything on the planet.
Yeah, what the planet's going through right now. Like, have you got
Tell us everything, Jeannee.
Yeah, and, just some. Tell us everything. I was just curious if you were able to, if you had looked in it, what's going on behind the scenes.
We have actually. My son is 4, and so around the time I was pregnant, Courtney and I saw something. Now, then I didn't know what it was. And usually in the moment, I don't know what I'm seeing because I do go in blindly. I don't do anything front loaded. And so I'm pretty much just giving you information. And then I'm like figuring it out as well. But we become, for me, for every remote viewer, it's different. So for me, it's, think of it as like a memory or a distant dream, or like if you watched a movie and then you remember a scene from it, how that looks in the back of your mind. That's what remote viewing looks like. To me, at least, I know I have heard different things from the people that I've trained. And so about 5 years ago, we were seeing something and it said, and I was like, well, what do we do with this? And Courtney was like, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen, and it's going to affect bigger cities more than it does other cities, smaller towns. It's going to affect bigger cities, and you're going to need to have a lot of food. We're going to need to have a lot. And I was telling my mother, I'll never forget telling my mother. So around the time that,
oh, I think we might have lost you. Hello, Jeannee. Does somebody want to finish that answer for her?
Well, I wish I knew.
That discussion started.
Wait,
say what?
We lost you.
We lost you for.
We lost you for.
Oh, you lost me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So what we got was you were you had looked into the future and you saw something happening that was affecting the big cities more than,
and people needed to stock up on food, and then we lost you right after that.
Okay, yeah. And so stocking up and having to so I was telling my mother that. And like I said, I had been pregnant. It had been about like five years ago. And so when this started happening, she calls me and she's freaking out. This is what you saw. You saw this happening before. So my mother didn't really believe in remote viewing at first until this happened. And so I have seen a lot of these things, all of the riots that took place. My heart broke, actually. I was seeing the pain and feeling. I'm a feeler. I don't see much until after hindsight. Vision is hindsight vision is 20/20. But I feel. And so my feeling, I was able to feel the world in pain. And so I would cry a lot. I would cry. And I didn't know why. I'm like, something bad is happening. It's going to happen. I'm seeing them in my meditations. I'm getting them in my sessions. We're looking into it. We do time cross. And so I every month I do something where I view something that's about to happen next month. So this month I'm seeing things that are going to happen next month, and so on and so forth. And and like I said, I was able to see these things firsthand, and they become very detrimental and sad. At times, if you're very sensitive, if you're sensitive like I am, when you do see these things, they weigh down on you. And so I cry a lot with the pain that the world is in. I had to take about a month off of work one time because I just couldn't. I said, I can't view this right now. I just couldn't. Recently, I've been on about a 6 month, what do you call it? Not sabbatical, but I guess you call it a break, which that's a sabbatical, right? About like a 6 month break because I had a concussion. But part of me thinks that the concussion came about spiritually to force me to sit down so that I didn't have to see what was happening. I started to feel that. I'm just now starting to remote view again. And And so coming back into things, I'm able to see like, wow, I was seeing these things in my dreams. So when you start to remote view daily, as much as I do, sometimes you don't have to remote view to see. It just starts to come. It comes secondhand in a dream or a feeling, or you'll see it in the fire. You'll start to see visions. When I drive, I see visions, which sucks sometimes because they blend in with what's actually happening. So I've had to learn to control that over time. And when these things happen, I have to write them down so that when I do go into meditation, I can start to decipher them and say, okay, put this there, this puzzle piece goes here, this puzzle piece goes there, and figure it out. I only wish I could save the world from the things that I see. And the only way to do that, I believe, is to teach others what I do.
Yeah. And well, go ahead. Was somebody going to say something? Oh, I heard a weird voice. I don't know what the heck it was.
She might have cut out again.
No, you heard my son.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, okay. Does he have a question? No. No, I think it's important. Like, we're not supposed to be trying to save the world because we can't, right? And a lot of this darkness that you're seeing is being exposed so it can be brought to light, so it can be healed. And in order to heal that, we need to heal ourselves, because what we heal within, we heal without. So yeah, it's important that you took a break, because we need to right now, because otherwise you will go crazy. You have to calm your mind and reset right now. Ivan, I know you've channeled a lot of beings and a lot of information about the current times. So what's your opinion on what we see playing out right now in the public eye?
Yeah, it feels, especially what's going on with Texas with the weather, is very unusual. Feels like the whole thing feels like it was planned from my feeling. So it's like a sign of things to come. Doesn't mean that's going to be, the end of the world, or, I mean, if you feel like you need to stock food, that's a good thing. But there are timeline wars going on also. So, I mean, I hear that all the time about, the end of the world and all that. So that's constant. That's a constant. You hear that all the time. But we're here to avoid that. So, but we are going to go into a different type of change, that's for sure. I mean, we're going into a different type of, I mean, last year was an awakening, and this year is going to be another version of that. It feels like they're bringing in another event so that the pandemic can be pushed to the side, is what it looks like. So
they're bringing in something else.
Yeah, we're slowly seeing that right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've gotten the same message that the weather right now is definitely being manipulated. I mean, obviously I can't prove that, but I feel that that's the case. I was just I was up at East Eddy Ranch doing some work, and then I got trapped there because the flights were canceled due to the ice storm, and I got stuck in Portland for 2 nights in Portland, and they lost power. But they didn't just lose power. They lost cell service, internet, and power.
Everything.
We couldn't make a phone call. We couldn't send a text. You couldn't check an app on your phone, not even Wi-Fi, but internet in general. We were blacked out. and we were hearing explosions and watching these explosions in the distance. The sky was lighting up. I mean, all night, even into the next day when the storm was over, there were still explosions, and there was transformers blowing up, right? It was really eerie. It was really eerie. The energy there was just, it just felt, it didn't feel natural. That's the best way I can put it. So I definitely believe that something.
Yeah, something that was a test. It feels
It's
like
definitely not natural.
no, that was a test of
It's
something.
confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're warming. Like March is when the year really begins, and that's when.
Yeah.
Last year March is when all this started for us. So.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Mm.
Barry, what does this look like in your eyes? Does this look like one big show that we're seeing, or what is this, this, I mean, we're going into like communism basically, and it's not this, it's like anti-life, this isn't the way we're supposed to be living. What does this look like to you?
I'll say that it's very much, I'm one that I tried to not be negative, but to me, as immortal souls, and the majority of us incarnate here devoid of soul life memories, that is an issue. There's every indication that this is a planet sphere, a prison type of sphere in a way. And I think consciously what we're seeing happening is the consciousness, the shift is changing. And that part of this maybe being that type of a population, this type of a sphere is going to end, a prison planet deal. That's what I think we're seeing. And really when thinking about the weather, kind of take that and correlate that with, kind of that Gaia, Mother Earth concept, in that the Earth has been attacked a long time and has reached out to us to stop some of the things, the fracking, the destroying, and instead worse went on, and it started reaching out to its parent star. And the parent star starts acting very erratic. Solar flares and solar flashes and things that, we shouldn't have, that aren't natural. So that's one problem we got here. And I think that as far as weather-wise, the virus we're seeing, the morphogenic field of humanity, all of our collective consciousness projects this morphogenic field, is very negative right now. And the virus has made it worse. And the weather to me seems like it's a way to somewhat eradicate some of the virus itself. In that way, I mean, outside where I live, it's very inhospitable right now. It's been like 13 degrees below and wind chill of like -30. So that's unusual here. So definitely. So in that way, but that sterilizes a lot of the things outside that would be flourishing in the heat or in the lack of winter. So it's just things like this, I think, to pay attention to. And it just displaces in trouble. Humanity's in trouble. And I think that humanity's ability to be the custodians of this planet is in jeopardy right now. And there are many, I think, that will come in and take that over, whether they be interdimensional, extraterrestrial, or whatever. So that's going on along with some sort of upgrade of, I think we're dealing with here, upgrade of Homo sapien itself, which has happened many times. I think that ties into the whole Starseed thing and the evolving that we're going into. That's this shift that can save this place and save humanity. So I hope that happens. I'm hoping for the best, but kind of preparing for the worst.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's smart to be prepared, just in general, right? I do think it's the latter half of that. I think we are looking at a bright future and maybe going down a positive timeline. We just have to.
It's going to be rough on the way there. I feel like, and we're already seeing that.
Yeah. And speaking of the weather, so Kate sent me a map of the United States yesterday, and the storm was hitting the entire nation except exactly where she lived. And she was sitting outside drinking a cup of coffee, and I was so envious of her. So she doesn't even get to chime in on the weather because it's all missing her unless something's hitting you now.
No, just guilty feelings for not going through it with everyone.
Well, what is this?
Yeah.
What does this look like to you as far as the spiritual side of it goes? Because I know you've experienced some attacks as well as I have, and many of us, and it's important to understand how to heal that. And I know that you've been like going down that path, so maybe you could touch on that a little bit and give some advice on what you've done and how, and just some advice for everyone right now.
Yeah. So, everything that Barry just said is exactly what I'm seeing too. I like that I get to put myself in, like I can see what these people see. I'm like, yes, I see this too. I am just as in tune. But I think we all are kind of picking up on the sense that it's like, it couldn't be worse right now as far as morale. It's like one thing after the next, every minute. It's like this is being designed to just make us want to give up, to just make us unhappy and miserable. And so I think you would kind of expect that if you were looking at a war on a planet where they're trying to one group of people is trying to hold it back and one group of people is trying to get it to move forward. And when you look at star seeds, and apparently like our massive job here is to come and raise the vibration to help it move into this area. We have to just keep reminding ourselves that this is what we're here for. And we have to like embrace the suck and just do whatever we can to just stay in harmony and heal ourselves. And just like you were saying, whatever you heal inward is being healed outward, or however you put it. It was a lot better than that. And so, it's to a point where it's ridiculous. Like I have to start laughing. It's not only the stuff that I'm seeing happening in the world out there, but it's happening in my home. It's happening with my family members. It's happening with the people I know. I'm getting spiritual attacks. And at some point, I think the best thing that my parents ever gave me was a sense of humor, and being able to laugh at myself, being able to laugh at my circumstances. And I think that's a good kind of jumping off point as far as getting, feeling more solid and just strong, because it's hard not to just feel like, man, everything is against us right now. People are against people. My family's against me. My dog doesn't like me. Like the weather hates me. So just to stay positive, I feel like that is what we need to keep reminding each other to do in whatever way we can.
Yeah, because these external events, they're trigger events, right? They're intentionally designed to trigger us and get us to emotionally react and come from a lower vibration. And that's what they want. So they want us down there. They want us to give up. They want us to throw in the towel, quit our channels. They're playing whack-a-mole with us on social media. So, but we just,
but it's funny because it's actually catalyzing so many of us to actually come together and to go inward and heal and all this stuff. And it's actually like a blessing in disguise, if you look at it that way.
That's right. Like even coronavirus, people being locked in their homes, it was forcing them to start researching, start spending more time with their families.
Waking people up.
These parents that have had to sit there and do distance learning with their children in school. Now they're seeing what their children are learning and how they're learning.
Yeah.
And so it reminds me of, I heard a theory about all, there are all these timelines, and that they, the bad guys, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, they had technology to be able to see what was, what the outcomes were going to possibly be. And no matter what they did, it was like, it kept snapping back to this positive timeline. And it's almost like no matter what they throw at us right now, or it's kind of getting thrown back in their faces and working to our benefit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, yeah, they're shooting themselves in the foot every step of the way. Anytime they try something. Yeah, go ahead, Barry.
No, I agree with that. There's been, from my perspective, a definite attempt to shift our timeline to something that is destructive. I mean, going even as far as the releasing of a virus, that's been attempted many times. Even going back to the early 90s, they had a movie, Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman, based off of a book called The Hot Zone. And that was the different types of Ebola that were last released in Africa that you weren't even hearing about. Several different strains, just like from perspective of microbiology, just like this virus is doing now, mutating. So it's fascinating that they're trying to jump us. In fact, I've talked to several other contactees and heard other people discussing this, is how many contactees or abductees, or whatever term you want to use, have been seeing these visions of destruction, or have been on a ship and seeing on a screen all these floods and all these destroyed cities and these horrible catastrophic events. that happens a lot. Me personally, I've never seen that. They won't show me the future like that, but they've showed me the past and what won't happen again. And that makes me think that they don't know, even though they can control or manipulate the space-time continuum, they don't know much more than we do.
Yeah.
But in that way, I think, so the question is, are these beings that are displaying this to the contactees, experiencers, are they trying to jump us to that type of a timeline or away from it? That's what the question becomes.
I think both are going on, most likely.
I've dealt with some entities I think that are definitely humanoids that are, well, I call charters, but I'm pretty sure they're quote unquote historians. And I'll talk about that a lot at the conference. But yeah, so it's just, sorry, I didn't mean to over talk, but I think what you said was very valid. I just wanted to agree with that. The timeline things, and we're dealing with something that's going on here. I think it's not just a war over the planet and a physical war, it's a war over timelines.
Absolutely.
100%
agree.
Yeah. So Ivan, I know whenever you try and channel and get certain information about what's going on, it's blocked. Like some stuff won't come through. It's almost like we're not supposed to even know, because it's like a test. And like Dolores Cannon says, what good is a test if you don't know the answers? So
if you already know the answers.
If you already know the answers. If you don't,
What good is a test if you don't know the answers?
Yeah. Well, that too.
What good is a test if you can't see?
Yeah,
exactly.
But I just think that's interesting. Is that still happening, that certain information is just seem to be blocked right now, Ivan?
Well, during the election, it was blocked, just unlike I've ever felt before. But during this, we've seen the let up. I do see government getting smaller, maybe not now. I do see it healing a lot of scandals eventually, not yet, but I see these government agencies eventually breaking down. That's going to be some time though for that to happen. But I feel like it's going to get quieter also. And just even like you told the our leadership we have in there right now, it's very old. So it's another way of just quieting it. It just becomes more quiet. And as we change and we shift and we're bringing a more positive reality, we're going to be tested definitely. And people are seeing these different timelines, these timeline wars. There's probably another version of you on that timeline. And when you go through like a trauma, another timeline, it's can hit you in this life also. It all depends. So it's understood.
Kate just had an aha moment. I just
had an epiphany. Well, I mean, you guys are probably already, this is like a duh, but yeah, I mean, so many of us are feeling lethargic and dizzy and all of this stuff lately. And I wonder if it's just because out there, like in these other timelines, there's so much craziness and it's coming back to us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. My timelines are starting to get crossed because of like everything you just said, Ivan, and everything that all of you just said it's a thing. Like I'm getting blocked too. I get blocked and I push myself to the point where I go into these 3-day migraines to try to see if I can just push the barrier. And like she just said, with the timelines crossing the way that they are, like if you can see like the way we all see here, like you'll start to see yourself or see spirits or see different movements of yourself of where you've been, or like I've woken up and done something that I did not do in this timeline, but I can tell you word for word the conversation I just had with you and the thing I just did, and it's becoming erratic, it's crazy of what's happening here. And there are beings here that know that we, the people that are on this chat here, that we are seeking, and they're throwing everything in the way to make sure that we can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well said. Yeah,
I see that happening. Yeah.
It's like every time we turn the corner, there's a block. They're trying to throw us off our path. They're trying to throw a wrench in the gears, however you want to put it. And it's up to us to mentally stay strong and get out of our own way, and don't let that stuff bring you down, because that's exactly what they're trying to do. And if you understand that's what they're trying to do, it makes it a lot easier to get through that moment. At least for me, it does. So I want to I'm going to remind everybody once again for the new people that have come in, guys, we're giving away 5 free live stream tickets to the Starseed Adventures Conference. And all you have to do to enter is enter your email address on the starseedadventures.com website.
I'm going to post the website.
Aaron's putting it in the chat right now. Yeah, so enter your email, submit your email onto the website, and we will be doing a roundtable, one last roundtable the week before the conference, and we will be announcing the winners then. So if you can't make it physically and you want a ticket, or if you want to watch it, sign up for the free or enter your email. You might win. You never know. So we have and we're trying to keep this at an hour. Have about 20 minutes left. And what we were going to do is have Ivan channel for us and bring in who's ever wanting to come through. And Jeannee, Barry, Kate, Aaron, we'll each ask a question and see what kind of information comes through. And then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So Ivan, we'll turn it over to you. And then I guess we'll give the first question to Kate. We'll go Kate, Barry, Jeannee, Aaron, and I'll finish last.
Okay, sounds good. All right, blessings. Just takes me just a couple moments. All right, blessings. Greetings to you. The Arcturians, blessings. Yes, you're going into a timeline change of events. You're connecting more to the stars. You might not always feel that vibration of your just a shifting consciousness, basically. So yes, many are going to bring out the fear out of all of you as much as they can. It's like a movie, basically. They're using fear tactics to get a rise out of some of you. But as you just continue to go forward, no matter what they're trying to do, yes, you'll see more clearly. Yes, you're going to get psychic attacks. Those are the hardest mental attacks. Of course, they're trying to drain your energy. They don't want you to see the future either. I mean, yes, you're not always going to see, because many of you are actually able to see it, but some beings don't want you to see it. And they have their own reasons behind it. So you're going to a time of awakening that is unlike anything actually has ever been seen on this world. I believe you've heard those terms before. So you're experiencing it now. You're just not seeing the positive side. I mean, you are seeing within yourself, but on a grand scale, like your aliens connected society, you'll feel the alien within. That will get more powerful among many of you. So yes, I believe you'd like to ask questions, please, whenever you're ready.
I'd like to ask, is there anything that you can tell us we should be focusing on the most as far as being of service to the other people on this planet, ourselves? Where should our focus lie right now?
Well, it's another way of looking at yourself like a soldier is a psychic. There's like a psychic war going on right now. So it's in the mind more than ever before. So you're clearing out what you feel you need to release. Like you feel there's like a block or negativity from a family member or friend or whatever it might be. So you can see clearly, because to help others is for you to have a clearer point of view. So yes, it's always good to talk to others, share your opinions is very good also. Just you don't have to share everything that's on your mind, but you feel it's best. And just keep that flow going on. You'll say more when the time is right, because you might not always want to say everything. Not everything is meant to be said right at the moment, but I believe many of you have lots you want to say out loud, but kind of hold it, at least on a public platform as you are today.
Interesting. Barry, you got a question for him?
What is the end result? What is the end result of all of this altogether? I mean, as a lot of these beings are coming through and channeling, are you guys going to show yourselves? Are you going to do something that helps us shift the timeline? So what's the overall end of this? What is the end result of all that's happening right now?
Well, it's up to the individual. first off. It's going to be different for everybody. As many of you individually want to shift to a wider consciousness, you will over time. It will be difficult. So, but there will be many still in the third dimensional idea system. That's always going to be here. They're not, you know, just like anything else, not everybody's just going to all of a sudden shift to the way how you see it, but you'll see more of what's happening here. And you'll just have a clearer view. Right now, it's kind of foggy at the moment because you're in a transition. But believe this, your own personal connections will get stronger. As for alien environment, well, yes, it's getting stronger with humanity. So it's enough individuals that are ready for this to occur. However it wishes to occur, it will, as for alien contact. So, but there's still be many humans that'll be in disbelief it even exists, even if you have alien beings walking among you. From what we're saying. Of course, you already do have it currently. So.
That's fascinating. Did that answer your question, Barry, or did you want to?
No, but that's all right. It's all right. I respect that, though.
Well,
That's
it's in your point of view. How do you see the future?
No, because you're speaking. You start off with it individually, and yeah, that's fine. But we have to deal with collectively here. What do we go through? Because if there's a major catastrophic event, it's not going to be like all the people that die in that room are going to be doing something different until they get to the other side. So it's not going to be an individual deal here when we start dealing with the mass. So I want to know what's going to happen at the end of this. What is the end effect of all of this, of the upheaval that's going on right now, the manipulation of timelines? What is the overall effect going to be? Are we going to be of a destroyed civilization that we need others to help us rebuild? Or are we going to be able to shift the consciousness and go higher from here? Those are my questions. So I mean no disrespect, but I didn't get the answer from what you said.
Slowly you'll be, once again, it's still going to be individually. But on a conscious level, some of you will go into higher frequencies, yes, of course. But many will not, the way we see it. So, but you're going to have a different shift among your, of course, not everybody's experience what's happening in Africa when you're in another country also. So different countries are going to experience different things. So, but you'll have a more heightened awareness. There'll be many places that'll have a heightened awareness. So.
All right. Thank you, Ivan. Jeannee, did you want to ask something to the Arcturians? If she's still with us?
She's muted.
Oh, there she
I'm
is.
still here. I think my question was a little bit similar to Barry's, but what I want to know what is the purpose of this? Like, not necessarily what is the end result, but why? Let me see if I can rephrase the question, because channeling is similar to a pendulum, and I might need to rephrase. Can you hear me? I'm
Yeah.
Okay.
We might have lost you for a second. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I'm going through a really bad storm, but hey, I'm here. I might need to rephrase. So, what is to the beings and entities in charge, or that is in charge of what is happening? What's the purpose? Why are you here? Why is this the cause of what's happening? What is the cause?
Well,
What is the effect?
Mean the beings that are service itself, basically, what they're doing, well, because they receive that honor to, you can say, rule the world. And it's up to humanity to see, bring like love within themselves, so you can see who is doing what's doing this to the planet. So it's basically, a lot of it's just self-love, really, it comes down to. As someone would do it logically, but really has to do with internally. But it's very difficult to see that. So a lot of humans want to be victims, say the victim mentality, and that's a phase of growth. But it really comes down to, it still comes down to the individual, basically, finding love for yourself and finding peace within times like this. And helping others, of course, with your I mean, obviously, when people are going through difficulties, you don't want to just, why are you going through all these difficulties? You can't be as happy as I am. But the idea is to use that energy to help others, basically. So.
And so, are you saying that? Okay, of course I'm a mother, so I'm going to use a childlike phrase here. And there's this new hit movie called We Can Be Heroes. In that movie, they put the aliens that infiltrated their government put the children and the adults of the superheroes in this movie through a test so that the children can take over, because like you said, like they said before, our next generation are our starseeds. They are what's going to change our planet, our world, our universe.
Right.
And so are they putting us through this test because they want to see what we can do? Are they here to help us, or are they putting us through this test because they're here to hurt us? Like, there are good and bad entities here. I've seen them both, and I've communicated with them both. And so with that, their purpose here is their purpose here to help us shift, like you were saying earlier, help us shift the world to being a better place? Or are they really trying to screw us over? Are they trying to take over the world? You always have, there's two sides. There's always good and bad. What's really happening here?
Well, yes, there are some, even with the alien beings, just like humans, they go to different sides. They go to light to dark. So, yeah, so you're having a physical war and a psychic war. But there are beings that are service to self. But once again, as you are connecting more to your light, many of you are realizing, especially with psychic attacks, many of you are receiving, they're going to put the pressure on. But that's up to you to continue with that light, or ask, get assistance from others, get healings. But there are beings that are here to shut you down. But of course, anytime you're going in through a timeline shift, as you are, a major one, for your awakening. So there are beings that are always want to keep on attacking no matter what, if you're fourth or fifth dimension. There are always going to be beings here to cause difficulty. But you'll have more of awareness of it. As you're learning now, you're just learning how to use your abilities, basically.
Okay. I see. I think I understand I understand where Jeannee and Barry are coming from. What is the purpose of this?
Mhm.
I personally don't think like we're gonna see some catastrophic physical event.
No.
Yeah, like Ivan shaking his head. No, I think that's a lot of the fear porn, a lot of the misinfo going around to keep us living in fear, right?
Mhm.
And that's where they want us. So I think this is going to be more of it's a war for our mind, right? And
Right.
it's a timeline war.
Timeline.
That's why it's
That's
down.
exactly.
That's why it's up to the individual, because it's up to us. It's up to us and
Mhm.
how the external events are going to affect us. Are we going to allow the external world to determine our happiness? And if we are, then we're giving our power away. So we need to go within. And I feel like I just feel like that is this is a test. I think this is all happening so we can grow. I don't think they're trying to screw us over. Like you said, there are beings attacking us and trying to stop us.
Mhm.
That's all part of it. And no matter where you go, even as you ascend, those attacks still happen. And that's a reality some people just are going to have to face as they awaken.
Right.
Aaron,
Then
did you want to
get
ask a question?
complacent.
Yeah. I mean, generally similar to many of your guys' questions. But is it true that like we talked about this being a timeline war and timelines, and is it true that there's a major timeline split happening right now where there's a very positive one and a very more negative one that currently they're kind of overlapped? So we're all experiencing both basically right now, but there's going to be a split soon between the two.
Yes, that is correct. When of course, it depends on who you're around. When you're around others that are having dreams of this, like if you're around friends that say, "Wow, I just had a dream of the world," and another friend had said the same thing. Yeah, that shows that that's a split, and your Earth is avoiding it normally, but it's warning. It's other worlds are also teaching this Earth. You don't have to go through that also. So there are other worlds going through it though. So this one is a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of all different Earths. Of course, there's infinite Earths, but you are going into an awakening that is, yes, a psychic war that is very traumatizing to the mind. So, but yes, usually there's 3 of those throughout the year, normally, or 4. Usually it's 3 major ones. It happens throughout the year, small ones, but the major ones, you can say technically you're going through one right now.
Interesting. So I'll go ahead and ask a question and we'll start wrapping this up. So as far as the healing go, you know, we talk about healing the mind, but we have physical bodies that are in pain that we need to heal. And I know there's healing technologies out there. Is there any timeline on the disclosure of these med beds? Or are we going to see any progress in the near future within the medical industry? And are things going to look a lot different? And is there hope for a lot of us to heal?
Well, interesting enough, even a lot of the Asian technologies, not just basically the metaphysics of Asia, you know, their own, you know, Chinese medicine basically, without the technology, just, you know, advanced technically technologies and everything. But actually Asia is going to be part of that. It'll be part of it. It's already part of your country, your world already, your country that you're in right now. A lot of that's going to start continuing, and you know, have different basically find alternative methods. Basically, Reiki will get more advanced. The med beds, but I feel Reiki will actually advance itself more. More people are understanding how to use it. They're using what do you call it, Vogel crystals. They're using more of that, so they're enhancing themselves. They're turning themselves into a light body. Basically, they're going into the 6th, 7th dimension as they do healing. So your med beds are a lot of your people basically learning these healing abilities. So I just feel like more people are going to understand the psychic technology and spirit, basically.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's also hopeful that we don't have to rely on somebody else to heal us.
Yes,
if we're doing the work and achieving that light body or whatever we're doing, this Reiki healing,
Right.
tapping into our true potential, I think that there is hope. We can start healing ourselves, and something we have purposely been not taught. I think that kids will start growing up understanding how to do this, and that's where we'll slowly start to see the shift. And it's just going to be natural. People are going to be able to stay healthy, and they won't have to heal themselves because it won't get that far out of hand. Maybe.
Well, we have something to add. So, as humans understand their origins, of course, it's complicated. Like their alien origins, their Agarthian origins. Especially the alien origins, a lot of that has to do with health, especially with the Zetas. When they incarnate as a human, they get autism, they have just difficulties just because they're so used to being telepathic. Talking to people just doesn't work. That's why some have just speech problems. And so more of that's understood, because a lot of the Andromedans understand how to be human, a lot of the Pleiadians understood, but not all beings are like that. Even felines are not always like that. Even feline humanoid beings, they're kind of like, they just growl at everyone or purr, or whatever it might be. They'll find some form, human way of doing it. So that's another way.
That's really interesting. I hadn't thought about that. I had, yeah. So maybe not everybody that incarnates here knows how to, you know, they don't know how to use this vessel properly. It's interesting.
Yeah, it takes time.
Okay, guys, this has been amazing. Thank you all for coming on and sharing your information. I'm going to give each of you a chance to, well, actually, we need to let Ivan come out of the,
He's still in
out of the channel here.
Yeah, blessings to you.
Thank you.
I apologize. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you so much for doing that.
That was awesome.
And sharing that information. Will you let people know where they can find you, and then we'll go around and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, ivanteller.com, you can find me, or you can just search on YouTube, Ivan Teller, you can find everything.
ivanteller.com. And guys, all those links are in the description. So, Jeannee, where can people find you?
Am I off mute now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Technology. So my website is being renovated right now, but it is princessviews.net. So when it comes back to being better, you can find me there. Also, you can find me on Instagram. You can communicate with me personally, and I do meditations. with you on there as well, live meditations at Princess Views RV. And so, yep, that's where you can find me. Or you can email me, princessviews@gmail.com.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much for that. And that is in the, I believe I put all of your guys'
It's all in the
links
description.
in the description. Okay. And Barry, how about yourself?
My website is barrylittleton.com. It's kind of under construction, but it does have links to all the other work I've done with social media. Done a lot of stuff on YouTube, a lot of stuff on Patreon also. So you can check that out. Actually, when I met you guys, I found out I had been shadow banned. I didn't think that was even real. I didn't know what that was. So you actually got to type my name in and it will eventually come up, but it's kind of hard to find it. So look through the playlist. There's a whole bunch of stuff there.
Awesome.
What causes someone to be shadow banned?
I was told I was saying all the wrong stuff, stuff like multiculturalism, creator, love, these words like that. Melanin. I use melanin too much. So
now he's going to get us. Now he's
the
going to get this episode.
Anything that threatens the system is going to
Yeah, it started happening, especially when I started talking more and more about melanin dominant Black extraterrestrials and ethnic extraterrestrials, because that's really avoided by the media. And then it seemed like everything started coming down. And like I said, that's when I met you guys. I was unaware that happened, but it got explained to me. I was like, oh, wow, really?
Yeah, they don't want that info out there. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't know what
Kate.
shadow ban was.
Yeah.
You can still find me on YouTube, believe it or not, The Kate Awakening. And I am on DLive and Twitch and pill.net and Foxhole. The Foxhole is an app you can still download. So I'm still doing my shows there every Tuesday night. And then I'm also on Telegram. So you can find me under The Kate Awakening. And I'm also, as Tyler mentioned before, doing We the Media now. It's a collection of, there are 50 of us now, and we are just staying up with the news as best as possible. It actually is a great way to stay on top of everything without having to go to a million different places, especially since people are so spread out right now and not even on the same platforms anymore. We aggregate from all over, all the news sites, Twitter, etc. There's a little bit of commentary, there's a little bit of humor. It is really a very good one-stop shop. So that is also on Telegram. Just search for We the Media.
Yeah, and we're really looking forward to some of your of you getting back into hypnosis and the regression again.
Yeah, that will be coming soon, probably very shortly. I might not even put up a website. I might just put my email address up and go for it. But I am going to be focusing specifically on past life regression, at least at first, because in the past I ended up doing like improving people's golf games and all of that. And while that's very lovely, it's not where my heart is. So I am just going to stick to past life regressions.
Beautiful. We're looking forward to it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All right, guys. So if this conversation is amazing, it's amazing when minds like this get together and we get to bounce these ideas off each other and figure things out. And that's why these conferences are so amazing, because you're surrounded by these people for an entire weekend. And I guess the evolution that comes from one conference, is the transformation that comes out of just going to one conference and being amongst each other you can't compare it to anything. You have to experience it. So grab a ticket and come hang out with us. There's not many left. It's going to be very intimate on the beach. It's a beautiful resort. And it's just going to be a lot of fun and something we all need right now. Because I know for one, I am tired of talking to the camera. So it's going to be nice to hug some people and see our friends and see our soul family and get to meet new faces and just be around each other. So if you guys enjoyed this at all, grab a ticket. The link is in the description. And like Kate said, we're on Telegram now also. That's our primary social media, I guess, as our primary social media platform. We're also on Instagram, Facebook. But yeah, check us out on Telegram. Give us a follow, join the chat. It's a lot of fun. It's something new for all of us. And it's a great way to spread information and just stay connected right now.
Your chat is the best chat, by the way. The Journey of the Truth chat is the most fun on Telegram. So
thank you. It is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it gets fun. It's a way to let loose. It's like you said, we have to remember how that we can't take this so seriously all the time. It's about tapping into that inner child and remembering how to have fun. And what does fun even mean anymore? You know, because it's tough. It's really tough. But just finding a place to go and an outlet to laugh and just communicate and just shoot shit is much needed right now. I believe that's it. I believe that's it, guys. We still have some promo codes going. The Omnia Radiation Balancer, if you don't know what it is, it's a patch that you put on your cell phone, and it harmonizes the frequency coming in and makes it actually beneficial for your body. Some great science behind that. Actually, the patches are on our microphones if you could see it, but
there's my phone.
it's a little patch you put
Sticker.
on any radiating device. Literally got rid of my migraine headaches that I didn't think I was ever going to cure. Never tied it. I never connected the dots that it was due to the radiation coming into my home. What'd you say, Kate?
I said no pun intended, the dots.
Oh, yeah. So that promo code is truth, all caps, for 10% off. We have our Hopewell Farm CBD, which is amazing stuff. It's really potent.
Best.
It's Aaron says it's the best.
It is.
So it's the best.
It's a fact.
We have 15% off that with promo code Circle Back, and I'm not sure how long that'll last. And then we have 20% off of the Teespring merch, promo code Sleepy Joe. And I don't know how long we're going to keep that going,
Best
but
promo codes.
20% off with that promo code. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you guys donated in the chat that we couldn't thank during the episode. So thank you for that. And thank you for the support. And we look forward to hanging out with you guys on the beach, and we look forward to seeing you there. Yeah. Oh, and here, really quick,
you guys so
Liz
much.
Lori in the chat.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah, there's Liz.
she wants me to remind you guys there is a Sunday Funday day pass for $222 that includes 4 speakers, dinner, beam me up ball, the beam me up ball is basically like a I guess an informal dinner, and it's going to be turned over to a DJ and for a little dance party, and it's just like, I don't know, it's going to be a nice.
We need this so bad. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice
it's gonna be a
gathering.
blast.
But that day pass includes that, and it also includes the live stream playback, all for $222. So, and that will be the last day. That will be Sunday, the Sunday Fun Day pass. So make sure you check that out. And I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to me talk, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys once again for coming on and doing this, and we look forward to seeing you guys all in Florida. Have a great night, everybody.
Good
Nice
night,
to meet
guys.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks again, guys.
All right.